Oh, hey, I'm Chris. Welcome to First Take Season 2. In this episode, we have Henry Tieu, hailing from Seattle, an adventure and elopement photographer who's traveled all around the world to shoot some of the craziest elopements I've ever seen. This guy has a wild story, so check it out. We head out to a little lake, practice some fly fishing with a good friend of mine, Burkard from Iceland. First Take Season 2, probably one of my favorite episodes. Henry, what's up, man?
How's it going?
Jump on in.
All right.
Fresh from Seattle.
Yes,
Live
sir.
and in the flesh. Well, we're here. We got you all the way from Seattle down to Central California.
Yeah.
Sitting here on the shores of Lake San Antonio, about to do a little fly fishing, and I love how different this is than what you're normally doing, which work for you looks like what? Give me a day in the life. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me, and
absolutely.
I'm so excited to see something new, do something different, and I think that's the one thing about adventure elopement photography for me to do as well is every time I get to work with a couple, even though it's their wedding day, and we all have those, traditions and things that we think about as a wedding day and what wedding photography should be. But what's so fun about elopement photography is, even though yes, people are getting married and they are saying their vows, but it looked different every single time I went out there with people. That could be on top of a mountain, that could be, at the beach. Yeah. And so it's really fun, to be honest, just because I think when you strip down all the fluff, you really focus on why are we doing this? What are we really focusing on? And majority of the couple start realizing the wedding day should be about who they are, where they've been, and the beginning of the next chapter.
On the more technical side, what are the lenses you lean into when you're shooting like that? Are you a prime person, or are you shallow depth of field? Like what's kind? Because it's fascinating to me because you're shooting landscapes, which typically it's like wide angle, everything's in focus, blah blah. But then you have wedding photography that's like 20 millimeter, 50 millimeter, 35, 1.4, these shallow depth of fields. It's almost like my brain doesn't compute. Like, how do you what do you lean into?
Right, it's like a mixture of the two, right? You're doing portrait work, but you're also doing landscape work. Yeah. So then you have to marry the two.
You have to go back and forth and back and forth, right? Yeah.
And so I have to pack everything with me.
Yeah.
So my backpack is quite heavy at times. A lot of my work too is during blue hours and dark at night, and I use like a lantern. Yeah. I think that's become like my signature. Now, like a lot of people come in.
I see that, and I love that because it's not like the sunset and rainbows. Right. It's kind of like this moodiness that's really palpable almost in the images.
Yeah. I get inspired by I showed you earlier, but like this tattoo that I have, moth tattoo here is basically reminding me of you can always find light in the dark.
That's awesome.
And that's just my philosophy in life before I even came into wedding photography.
I love that.
And now with photography, I combine the two, like something so personal to actually documenting it.
I brought a whole bunch of toys, I brought a whole bunch of lenses today. We're gonna shoot a little bit. We got my friend Burkard from Iceland who's gonna do a little fly fishing for us.
I'm so excited.
We'll kick it and we'll hang out a little bit. So, Henry is an ICU nurse, yet you made a choice and you left this career and you pursued photography, of all things, maybe the scariest career path too. How did that work out?
The turning point was I got accepted to go back to school and get my doctorate degree. I told myself that I would let, just fate decide my life.
Please put me on your website next to like a bride.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, what?
I told myself if I do get in, I will go back to school and quit photos. If I don't get in, I'll continue doing photography. I got in.
No.
I got in.
And then the choice became
harder.
And
then the choice became no, I'm not gonna let fate decide. What do I really like to do? And that moment, I was like, that's it, I'm gonna do this. And if I do this, I'm gonna do this right.
That was a sick day, dude.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Give me a hug. That was all time.
It's been amazing.
Hope and pray we get to hang more, and would love to just, I don't know, be able to cross paths again. Hopefully in Iceland or somewhere.
Yes, we're gonna get some hot dogs and drink some Icelandic water.
Yes, let's do it, dude.
All right, have a good one. Thank you.